Hi there everyone, I'm Javier Luraski, I'm the founder of Hal9. And in this video I want to explain you everything and all that we do at Hal9 to help you as a startup founder and a small business owner build AI products that generate revenue and help you optimize your processes. So the name of our company is Hal9. This would be an inspiration to Hal 9000, which was one of the first AI in science fiction from Space Odyssey. So we borrow inspiration from that name, and Hal9 is the name of our company. Now, our promise is that in 30 days, we will build your AI-powered minimum viable product and then scale with you over time. The way that we accomplish this is two ways, and this is why we're different than other companies. The first one is we obviously use a lot of AI. We have our own AI autonomous platform to generate code, generate resources, generate APIs. We have a proxy and the like. But what really differentiates us is that we also have an AI expert team. So you're not just relying on AI to build those products, but you're actually relying on a very capable team. So let me walk you a little bit about that. So a little bit about us, I'm Javier Luraski. I've been doing software engineering and AI for over 20 years. Originally, I worked in companies like SAP, Microsoft Research, and RStudio. And in general, I've been a prolific contributor of open source AI packages. I help port the PyTorch project from Python to the R community. I did one of the main interface of Apache Spark for the R community called Sparkly R. I've had a book written with O'Reilly, and I have like many packages that have millions of downloads, especially for the R community. And I've collaborated actually with Databricks to build MLflow from the our community. And yeah, I was the maintainer of that package. I successfully have launched packages with the Linux Foundation, which is arguably one of the best open source organizations in the world and the like. That's about me. A little bit about Pedro. He's my brother and co-founder, and he's done extensive work with entrepreneurs. He's always been passionate to help new entrepreneurs and emerging entrepreneurs with organizations like First Tech Robotics. And he's an expert on automation. He's an expert in engineering in general and delivering successful automation engineering projects. And apart from that, we've been supported by many organizations, from NVIDIA for Startups, Google, AWS, the Microsoft for Startups plan, and also the Paul Allen Institute for AI. So Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen, he created an organization called the Paul Allen Institute for AI, which is based on Seattle. And we happen to be on Seattle, and we happen to be part of that program. And apart from that, we have an amazing team that you can see here below. We have advisors on marketing, engineering, AI. We also have, in general, people that we've been lucky enough to be with us for the past 5 years of the company. Advisors, in the space of product, marketing, event planning, sales, engineering, as I mentioned, AI and the like. So yeah, very lucky to have the team that we have. This is to say that, and I mention it first and foremost on this video because this is one of the key differentiators when working with Hal9. We're not just an AI platform. We actually have a team that will back you and that you can use also as you're developing those applications. So there is still a big gap on AI between what AI can do and what humans can do. And it is our belief that there's always going to be better to have AI plus humans. It's just almost by definition, if you have AI and also have humans, like the sum of the parts is bigger. Mostly, a lot of times, even if the AI is very good at building applications, humans are extremely good at maintaining knowledge and experience. I know what it takes to build a product in Microsoft for literally billions of users. What are the good practices for refactoring, security, and the like, which AI doesn't know, right? Because they haven't gone through that growth process of starting a small project and seeing it grow to, in the case of our studio, to millions of users and the like. So the experience that humans have, the expertise in general, and still, the debugging techniques, taste, and the like, I think it's unbeatable. And that's what makes our platform different. Now, on the other side, we also have an autonomous AI system, and basically that allows us to generate code more efficiently and applications more efficiently without you having to pay just for our time, which would be extremely expensive. So the way that this works is, we want to make sure that in the first 30 days you have a minimum viable product. That's super important because that is your first stage. We want to make sure that in 30 days, ideally, you have something that you can show to people, to investors, to help you learn and understand. But the journey doesn't end there. We want to take that minimum viable product to a full product launch. And, usually that comes in the form of refining, right? You get feedback from users. Perhaps you get your own taste and develop what are the things that are working in your product, which ones are not. And then you improve it, right? You improve, make sure that you can scale to multiple users, make sure that the quality of the AI is there, etc. And you launched your product. And then after you launch it, assuming that you hit market product fit, then the last stage is scaling, right? And in this stage, it's more about being to some degree reactive to the market. If you're growing your usage, you want to make sure that you plan ahead for supporting more users that you have allocated for. Sometimes cost and profitability become at some point really important. So you want to make sure that the AI that you're using, it's actually cost effective. And you're not just bleeding money. So throughout this process, that's where we want to walk you through. We want to make sure that we take you from prototype, launch, scale, and be your partners on the long term. And conceptually, let me just play a video for you here.
Our AI platform enables experts to build powerful AI products from code. But it goes further. AIs can now create products autonomously.
We are
Each
working,
new AI
as you can see in
product
the video,
runs securely in its own isolated Kubernetes pod.
Also humans,
this provides safe,
what
massive parallelism to create hundreds of AI products at once, which unlocks a fully automated, ultra-secure AI factory, unleashing intelligent systems at unprecedented scale that are designed to help more people benefit from AI.
Physical product, you go to a factory that can actually produce that at volume. Think of us as a factory where you're the owner of your product. You can have a CTO, you can have your own vision, but you want to come with an expert that knows how to build those products repeatably, securely, scale them. We've done it with dozens, almost hundreds of customers. So we want to make sure that we bring that expertise for you and help you generate those products in a consistent way and a predictable cost. That is our whole point of this video. So what type of things can we create? Well, we're very focused on the digital space. So anything that is digital, we don't really do hardware products, even though we've done them in the past. Robotics, that's not something that we do. Think of us as anything that is digital and especially related with AI, right? So one of the very, common projects that we get asked to do is some variation of a chatbot. In general, chatbots still have a lot of applications that you can do. For example, here, this is a project called Ask Court Cases that allows you to basically query applications, court applications and court procedures, right? So the system called Pacer, it's a government organization. It's pretty slow and the like, and it's honestly a pain to use. So what you want to use is a better chatbot that already has all that information and the like, which if you ask ChatGPT for a court case number, it won't know about it, right? So chatbots is definitely one of the projects that we get asked a lot, or used to at the very least. The next one is kind of like the evolution of a chatbot, which is an agent. An agent is not just a text interface where you talk to or the like, but it's actually AI embedded into a product, and that product could be something that creates documents or books or blog posts or social media content and the like. In this particular case, one of our customers, Propio, what they used, I got the wrong link here. One of the companies that we help with is Propio, and what they did is they built an autonomous tax reporting service where you can actually use tax and AI to automatically manage your expenses and the like. And they had to use AI. Now, you don't see AI on the front end. You see the reports and the suggestions and the classification that AI provides, but it still very much is using AI. So this is a different type of AI product that we can specialize and help. There's been things like AI websites that are important and the like. Let me, for instance, I'm going to show you one. I really like this particular website. This one, it's a website to help you find the perfect town. And it's basically a search engine that allows you to find, like the different towns that are available in your community. The idea behind this website is, it's using AI to actually help you find that particular town. And I really enjoyed this website. I think it's pretty great and allows you to, use AI from user interface that it's more common for people like in the day-to-day. AI applications like mobile applications is another great category of things that we can build with our platform. So just think about any mobile application for social engagement, guided tours, purchases, marketplaces, etc. And the last one is any sort of AI extension, basically extensions to software, extensions to products and the like. In this case, for example, there is this Chrome extension called Reply that allows you to reply to any social media messages and the like. This is another type of application that we can generate. And in general, the people that we serve and help are startup founders. We've done it, as I mentioned, for several dozens, now up to close to 100 customers that we have helped. And here are some of the quotes and the like. For example, we were talking about Propio, and this is the quote from Rodrigo Carriero, who's the CEO of Propio. In this particular case, the quote is, Hal9, us, our team, enabled us to launch AI insights in weeks with seamless integration that transformed reporting, which is great. As I mentioned, their product, doesn't show necessarily like a chat interface first, but helps you create those tax reports that are AI customizable and the like. So super important, to see all these people that have trusted us with their products to be developed at Hal9. So, and there's many, many more that we don't list here. And, we've even worked with large companies like Ferrero, Luxembourg-based company, Kinder Eggs and the likes are some of their consumer brands that you might have helped about, known about. And yeah, so in general, we specialize with startup founders, research organizations, people that want to move really fast and want to embrace and create AI products as fast as possible. That's our ideal customer that we love working with. And, in general, we've learned a lot. I won't get into these particulars of this section, but, one thing that is important to mention is the budget. And let me just show this for a second. The budget is important here. Our solution is based on credit system. So that basically means you pay for credits that you can use for compute, AI tokens, proxy services, and development hours from our team, support hours, maintenance, scaling. All of this is included on the credits that we provide. But we found out that the ideal investment that you want to make as a startup founders is at least $2,000 a month. Mostly because that will enable you to have predictability on development and also compute, right? So one of the big benefits of working with us is that that predictability from paying $2,000 a month. We've seen customers that when they start using, OpenAI or cloud providers like Amazon Web Services, sometimes they get a bill for literally $5,000 or $50,000 just because their increase of operations and usage goes crazy, or they have a bug or whatever, and literally their company goes bankrupt, right? Which is really scary. So our business model, being based on credits, really allows you to also cap what the worst case scenario, right? And we help you manage that transition from scaling incrementally, right? From $2,000 a month, $4,000, and the like over time as you become more successful. So yes, definitely the pricing is very transparent. I'll show it to you here. These are our plans, and we have different plans. We even have like a free tier if you want to do a couple of things yourself, like building a roadmap. I'll show that in a second. But really what we recommend is startup founders to get the $2,000 a month plan. That includes 2,000 credits, and the credits can be used for LLM calls, service calls, compute seconds. We have also some support for training GPUs and the like, which is not listed here, but you have basically all these different services that you can exchange the credits for, including senior development hours, junior development hours, and the like, and to make sure that your product gets built and scaled over time. So yes, the pricing, very, very transparent, which is the last point I wanted to cover. And in general, if you want to talk to us, what you have to do is you can click reserve your spot, or if you want to go all the way on the top, you can literally just click the talk to us button. This is just like a simple Calendly reservation system. We can discuss this together, and we'll figure out like what exactly we do, even though I already explained it on this video. And then the next step, after you decide that $2,000 a month is like an investment that you want to make and you're ready to make, the next step is just doing a quick scoping call with our team. We work on a sprint model, so every 30 days we repeat basically the same process. And you want to get together with our team to understand, how much compute you're going to use, how much LLM tokens, how much of the credits are going to go to development hours, and most importantly, what is going to be developed in 30 days, right? Like you want to know exactly what's going to happen. And in general, you're welcome to schedule time with us, and we'll walk you through this process. Now, that covers mostly kind of like what we do at Hal9 at a very large or high level overview. Now, what I want to walk you through is the self-service approach and kind of like how our platform really works behind the covers. If you come to our website, you can generate suggestions of a couple applications that might be interesting to you. Let's see, for instance, maybe you want to create a web app that coordinates volunteers with AI-powered task assignment. This sounds interesting enough, especially if you're an NGO and maybe you work in just an organization that supports a community, maybe Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, the Pacific Northwest Food Bank or whatever. So this is like a reasonable application to build. And the way that our platform works is, you can click build now and start kind of like building this process on your own. So let's just try to do that. It's going to ask you to sign up. In this case, I'm just going to make a test account. I'm going to do Javier test. And I'm going to type a password here. And I'm just going to, probably we need to do this as well. If you prefer, it's easier to sign in with Google or Microsoft or whatever. And I just want to start from scratch for you to take a look at how this works. So let me just not do this. And anyways, so here we are. The first step in our process is narrowing down your idea. So as you can see here, we have in general like an AI-powered task assignment for volunteers, for coordinating volunteers. But as you can see here, we are getting asked a few questions, right, to narrow down and really zero in on what you want to do on the first month. So what our AI is telling us is like, okay, that's a great idea, using AI to match volunteers, using tasks to solve real coordination challenges. And let's narrow down the focus of your minimum viable product for the 30 days. So we have three options. You can also type your own option, but the three options that we have is, let's do an AI-powered matching algorithms that assigns volunteers to tasks based on skills availability. That's useful. A task management dashboard that organization can post volunteer opportunities. That's also interesting, but less about so I want to do the matching. A volunteer profile system where people can showcase skills and set availability. So I'm going to go for the first one, the matching. Obviously, you can choose different options or narrow down the scope in different ways. What is the persona for the MVP? A volunteer coordinators, individual volunteers looking for tasks to match their skills. I'm going to say volunteer coordinators. And I think we have one more question, the data source, where do we want the data to come from? I'm going to say that for now, we're going to do manual input. We don't want to do the management integration system. I don't fully understand that, so I'm going to do that. So we're going to do manual input, great choice. And then how do we find this MVP most valuable? Generate optimal task assignments, get AI suggestion for which volunteer finishes a specific task, or view manually adjust AI assignments before being published. I'm going to say get AI suggestions for which volunteer benefits for a specific task. And so now we've narrowed down our idea and we can generate our roadmap. This is something important on the process, is first trying to really get clarity on what you want to build and then generating it. So yeah, in this case, let me just click this again because it's asking me for my name. And apparently it's asking me to sign in again, which is fine. We'll fix that when you try it again, and no need to, we shouldn't have a need to re-log in, so we'll just leave it that way. And I'll just choose the same options just to keep it moving along. Okay, we'll just pick a few options and we'll get back on track. Okay, manual upload. And then the last question was about create. All right. So here the next step is we're generating the roadmap, which for us, this roadmap is important because it will allow us to understand how to break down tasks and how these tasks are assigned and used over time, and which tasks, some tasks can be generated with AI, like, generating a mobile front-end application. Some other ones require our expert team. For example, submitting to the Apple App Store is not something that can be automated yet. It requires reviews. It requires the expertise to make sure that that goes smoothly. Sometimes it requires you to create a company, like a physical company. If you want to not do it as an individual person, but you might want to create a company and have a proper organization and controls and all that. So obviously those are things that the AI cannot do. They cannot file your paperwork to create a company. It cannot submit to the App Store because it requires user review and the like, and an email and all these things. So these are also critical, and the expertise obviously of knowing which things will get approved and not on the App Store. Those are critical things that are important to have an expert team with you, walking you through this process. So yeah, generating the roadmap takes a few seconds. We're crunching a lot of numbers behind the covers and figure out how to build that product over the next few months. And then you can see here the outcome. And in general, like the phase one, this is roughly approaches the first month and the tasks that are worth implementing. Foundation, upload, and match MVP. That makes a lot of sense. It's all about matching the volunteers with the organizations. It's proposing, being able to upload the data from Excel, because you probably already have it on Excel. Have like a basic API for doing matching in general and the like. So yeah, that's the first stage. You can expect this to get it done on the first 30 days by working with us. Second month, obviously we would discuss this if you want to discuss it, and we can tweak it, but like the second phase on the second month is advanced matching, which again makes a lot of sense for an application that will match volunteers with skills. And the third one is about really launching, right? Which I mentioned is the second stage before you scale. You want to make sure that we fix all the bugs, make sure that everything is up and running. It looks great and amazing, in this case, configuring SSL and security configurations and the like. That's the roadmap. If you're interested, then you can hop directly into booking a call to talk with our team, and then our team very easily will be able to just talk to you and get this going. You just select a time, and we can get it going. That's one way. You can also review technology and the like that we're using or proposing to use on this proposal. And then, there's a couple examples also here that you can follow, like you can do a simulation. So in this particular simulation, it's not the final product. We will use our own platform to tweak it and our expertise and the like. But you get to see a little bit how perhaps the volunteer matching system would work. So in this case, you have like the volunteers on the one side, like it will score which ones are best match, which ones are the most that are better assigned. In general, there's a lot of functionality here that will allow us to really understand how the final product would look like without really committing, right? This is not supposed to be the final version. It's supposed to be just, as we mentioned, a simulation. At some point, you can also go and generate it. You can generate the preview. This is a little bit better than the simulation, but we obviously want to make sure that you book a call with us, and get you up and running and the like. But we can also click here, generate preview. And this is a little bit more advanced than the simulation, and it's getting you closer to that final product that you can build in our platform. But as I mentioned, one of the biggest perks and one of our biggest differentiator, apart from having an autonomous AI platform that generates these products, it's working with our team and our expertise. We really believe in that. And, even though you can build things on your own on our platform, which is great, to be honest, there's other competing platforms that do also a pretty decent job. Our expertise and value comes from mixing and matching the expertise of our team with the compute of our platform and AI, blending it all together to make sure that you can build the most complex products. So as you can see here, we're generating the preview. This also takes about 30 seconds, a couple minutes to generate that particular live preview. And I'll leave it at that, but let me just recap in general everything that we learned on this video of what we do. Hal9, inspired by Hal 9000. First AI in sci-fi popularized by Space Odyssey. We have an autonomous AI platform that generates products for you with complementary guided expert services. And bringing those two, the expertise of experts with AI, we found out that that's the success path for entrepreneurs to build products and for companies to also automate AI processes. Anyway, so as you can see here, this is a little bit more comprehensive. You can upload your volunteers, interest profile, the tasks, and start really working and generating the AI assignments. So all of this is it's important to notice. The next step, or at any point in this process, you can always book a call with us. You can click book call here. You can click book call directly on Hal9. And then we'll walk you through this process. We'll help you get set up. We want to make sure that you have the best possible experience. We want to make sure that we answer all your questions and that you understand exactly what you're getting into, what is the process, what to expect month over month, and how we can work together long term. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. I hope that you learned a lot, and definitely I'm looking forward to chatting with you, and our team is here to also talk to you. So talk to you soon. You know where to find us, and have a great day.